It's one of the first times that we've been able to work with prosthetics and be able to really get creative, and we've have a really great creative cast, so we are able to just go all out in our creative zones, and it's really freeing for us because we're like, oh, we can do this, oh, we can do that. So I think that's what makes it so special for me. It takes a while, but it's a really fun process for us. I mean, like, now I can give you a little sneak peek. This is one of our icky gickies. It's I believe it's an arm piece, right? So it'll hang on the arm somewhat like that. We'll blend all the edges down and it'll just look like a nasty, and we'll fill it with blood too, so that it like kind of drips down the arm and stuff as the blade goes on. So yeah. This
My name is Harry Cho, and I play Ben. And so the character that I play is the main leader. I mean, there's a character named Harry Cooper, but he thinks he's the leader, but he really isn't. Ben is the person you kind of want to follow in the play. When there's something that needs to be done, he does it like straight up. He doesn't like no second thoughts. He just does it. What Ben does in the play is he mainly tries to protect everybody, and obviously during the play he can't because everybody makes their own decisions, and because of that, they could be fatal decisions, which basically happens throughout the play. And that really is Ben's downfall, because he tries to protect everybody, but instead, because everybody makes their own decisions, which leads to their death, that's what really puts so much stress onto Ben's shoulders. So yeah, that's one of the struggles that Ben has.
My name is Eliana Rosen. I play Barbara in Night of the Living Dead, and my character, her motivation throughout the play is to just stay alive and to see her brother Johnny, who gets eaten by a zombie. She becomes a little crazy and weird and goes into like her own little la-la world during the whole performance. Just like doesn't care. She's very free and crazy and doesn't really care what she says or who's around her. And I don't know, I like that about her. It wouldn't be Night of the Living Dead without her.
I'm Duncan Beelman, and I play Harry Cooper. My character is focused on being the leader and fighting those who oppose his leadership, and he deals with that a lot throughout the play, and it kind of tears him apart from the beginning to end, and he's kind of, I think, already a pretty weak person deep down, and he's in a place where he has to be strong and he has to be the leader he feels like, and when that is taken away or at least challenged, it kind of gets him going, gets him much angrier and much more whimsical and just maybe doing things without thinking them through, and that inevitably leads to his downfall, everyone else's downfall too.
I'm the type of person who I can't work with people that I hate. It's very hard for me to do that, and so my kind of routine is to make friends with everybody, get to know everybody, and then when it's time for the show, when it's rehearsal time, it's only rehearsal time. We focus on what we need to do, and when outside, it's just we all have fun together. And working especially with the main cast, like just talking to them, like you learn that these are like really cool people, like they do some cool stuff on the side, and working with them is just, it's more of like we connect. It's like, as soon as you bond with them, it's so much easier to connect, which is definitely what I felt for the show. Working with zombies, that's fun because they get to scare you, and I mean, what's not so fun about getting scared?
So this is my first show at Moorpark, and I think one of the coolest parts about it was that I didn't know anyone coming into it, and at the point that we're at right now, it seems like everyone gets along great and is friends with each other, and it's cool to see, I guess, those relationships kind of grow, because I was in theater for a long time before this show, and I had pretty much the same group of people I was working with, and it's very cool meeting new people and acting with new people and realizing the talents of people that I don't know.
When I auditioned for the play, this is like the second play I've been in. This is it. I've only been in one other one, and that was in 6th grade. And that was forever ago. I'm 22 now. It was forever ago. So I'm thinking, like, I didn't think I'd get cast at all. At minimum, I'd be a zombie, if at all. And when I got cast as Helen, I was just shocked. Having this role is such an opportunity for me, and it's such an honor to get to work with this cast. Everyone here is so good. Duncan, who's playing Harry, is fantastic. He's probably one of the best actors I've ever worked with. He's on point every single night, and having him as an acting partner is just fantastic.
They're really scary. I mean, I don't really have to act a lot of the time when I see them, because they really get me. I love their backstories and all their outfits and makeup. It's really, really great.
Sometimes they're pretty low energy, and other times it's actually scary to be acting on stage with them. And it actually is scary hearing them bang on the wall and look at them in the windows, and actually striking fear into me, not just as my character. And it's kind of crazy the transformations most of the zombies have made from the people that I know as people, and the people that I know as zombies are very separate from each other, and when I look at them, I don't see the people that I know. I see the zombies when they're in character, just because the makeup and the special effects are crazy that we're putting on them.
They're terrifying as hell. I get up on stage every single night, and I do my scene, and every single time it's a new sound, it's a new movement, it's a new zombie standing at the window, and I'm like, I don't recognize you. No, this isn't okay. And I just rush on back. It makes it easy for me to play terrified, because I actually am terrified. They're that good. The makeup team did a fantastic job with them. They look amazing. Their makeup is on point every single night. And they all are true to the character that they are. They're more than just zombies. They were people before, and that personality still kind of comes through, so I can recognize every single zombie in the cast.
My name is Jordan Oss. I'm makeup supervisor for the entire show, and that means managing the crew and taking over the cast's makeup and designing and coming up with prosthetic ideas, all that jazz that relates to makeup. So we have 3 different generations for zombies. The first gen is the living ones, and that means that they were affected, and it means that they're still alive, they're still living, but they don't really require a ton of makeup, considering they only have veins. They're just paled out, looking really sick. So that's pretty much the easiest generation to do. Generation 2 is the gen that kind of had something happen to them. They were affected as far as injuries go, so bites from another zombie, or being in an accident, or anything related to accidents, or being affected by another zombie. They have a prosthetic. Some people do, some people don't, and again, that requires veins, that requires paling out, and if they have a prosthetic, it requires whatever their backstory. Any of the cast created a backstory. It requires them to either have a bite, or if they had a broken knee, which one of the actors does have, that's how they were affected. So not a lot of makeup goes into gens 1 or 2, but gen 3's is the worst, because they were already dead, and they require a ton of prosthetics, depending on whatever that is, a brow piece, a jaw piece, or an eye piece. They were the previously dead generation, so that means that they were put in the ground for a reason. So like my makeup baby is Christoforo, and I do his makeup all the time. And he requires a ton of makeup. He had a broken jaw, and he's considered a greaser. He is probably the biggest makeup to-do in the show. He requires a prosthetic, he requires a ton of layers of different makeup, he requires splatter and blood and dirt, and a lot of work goes into it. Even just designing the jaw and figuring out how we were gonna make it work or even look realistic was really hard. We actually have a really awesome guy, part of our crew, that's not here. He made half of the prosthetics for the entire show. So he got to make the broken jaw that I do, and that took a really long time, but finally when we got it, we were so excited, and I decided to give it to Christoforo, and it actually really worked for his character. A lot of people don't think about the fact that when you're creating a zombie, you can't just think of, oh, they were affected in one area. You have to figure out, as far as costuming goes, whatever doesn't cover their body, that's where you have to actually figure out, oh, if their hands are showing, covered in makeup. If their ears are showing or if their neck is showing, covered in makeup. Like little details like that, or even like their eyes, we had to give them contacts for the entire show. That was just a small part, but it really does make everything come together. If you were missing makeup on like the ears, if you're missing makeup on like the hands, or even doing the nails, some people have nail polish on to make them look rotted. It's like the little details really count. And if you send a zombie up on stage and they're not wearing makeup somewhere and you just see their normal skin, you're like, why isn't that done? You don't think it's a finished product. So a lot of things like hands, like feet, or like legs even, whoever's wearing tights, you dirty them up, you get them all covered in blood, it really does come together. But if someone just looks like they have a prosthetic on and then it changes and you see nothing else on them, you kind of question, why isn't it done yet? You kind of question why. But all the details really do count. I really enjoy working on all the different cast members and doing all the different makeups, even just the process of coming up with everything, all the designs, and distributing the different prosthetics to each actor was really fun, and just getting to know each actor while you do their makeup is amazing. And just having everything come to life as far as designs go, and as far as figuring out the different makeups, you really do get to see like the movie be put on stage and have it come to life. So that's really fun.